Good afternoon, everybody. Rusty Blackwood here, and I welcome you to my loft on this October 13th, 2023. Oh my, it is Friday the 13th. And I hope you're all not superstitious. I mean, come on. If a black cat crosses your path, are you instantly, you know, um, crossing yourself and hoping that looking around for ladders that may be present for you to avert walking under? It's just so absolutely ridiculous how some people look at Friday the 13th in any given month and the upcoming season of Halloween and Samhain. Um, I have some online friends who unfortunately have the wrong idea about Halloween, and it's because of religious beliefs. You know, some Christians tend to believe that Halloween is the day of the devil and that it is evil, and you do not observe it, you don't have anything to do with it. If you have children, you don't let them go out trick-or-treating for candy. You don't let them dress in costumes. They just don't take part. And you know, it's not for me to say that people are wrong in doing that, but I really wish that people would research and find out about Halloween, what it is about, what is happening at that time of the year, as I say, Halloween, Samhain, and the origin of it, how it became, what it means. And it is nothing evil about it. It is a day to celebrate our ancestry and opening ourselves to those who have gone before us, to be able to be with us in spirit, and just enjoy the day and the night. And it's got nothing to do with the devil. It has nothing to do with evil. Heaven only knows there's enough of that going on in the world right now to be worrying about a time of year that children go out trick-or-treating for candy dressed in costumes, and worrying about that the devil has a hold of them, because that is the furthest thing from the truth. Of course, I suppose if that's what you believe, then that's what you believe. But I'm Christian, and I follow Jesus, but I also do not look at Halloween in the way that a lot of Christian people do, and that's kind of sad, because they are obviously misinformed, and they if they would learn about it, whether they would ever agree to celebrate it or not, but if they would learn about it, it might help to put those ideas they have to rest, and let them realize that there's nothing wrong, there's nothing to be stressful about, and so, regardless of any further what they may choose to do. And cheers, everybody. I'm going to have a drink of water here while I'm speaking. a little dry up here in the loft today. It's kind of it's not cold outside, but it is certainly not warm, and it's really not warm enough to have the windows open. And so right now it is comfortable up here in the loft, and so but I'm just finding the air a little bit dry up here, and my heat has been on the odd night when it's been dipping down super low in temperature, and I'm just in the act of getting my plants from out the back brought in, and those that stay out there, of course the ones that are in the ground, getting them winterized, getting them ready for winter coming, like my roses, things like that. And you know, if you want to have pretty flowers and pretty foliage around your home, you know, you have to provide that for them. You have to provide protection in the wintertime for them, and look after them, and then next spring they'll reward you when they start to bloom and grow again. And so I was thinking about, before I did this video today, it's been a while since I done a video, and of course that was you know, I was so disgusted when I did that video to think of what had taken place in our House of Commons in Ottawa, and I have since come to find out that there's 2,000 Nazis in this country that have been here. I don't know if they're all still alive, but they were given what's the word I want? Refuge, or protection? I don't know the right adjective to use here, the right verb, but it should not have happened. They should not have been allowed to come into this country, or any country for that matter. Should have. For you stop and think what they did right there would have taken away the right for protection, because the people that died at their hand were given no choice and were given no protection. And I don't care. I have no sympathy. I have no empathy for anyone that could carry out the likes of what they did, because some madman convinced them that a certain race of people was not worthy of living. And I'm sorry, Jesus was a Jew, and when you believe that, you realize just how horrific what happened, and the reasoning behind that. And I don't care. There's no reasoning that warrants, no excuse at all that warrants what happened. And the same as what's going on right now with Israel being attacked, and by these people that seem to give themselves warrant to carry out horrific, unimaginable brutal murder. And it's just, I suppose for me, I'm a mother and I'm a grandmother and I'm also a great grandmother. And to think that my family could be hated because of the color of their skin or the religion they follow, um, by people that self-appoint themselves king of it and can order whatever they want. It's just, it's beyond me how anybody could support that or condone that. Yeah, I know it's not for any of us humans to judge. That is God's job to do, and He will. And even though none of us may see it, with all these people that are behind all of this, not just what's going on now with Israel, but what's going on in the world, all of these horrific things that are going on by these people, that these elites that seem to think they are above everybody and that they're chosen or they have more rights than anyone. That's not the case. And they will one day find this out. And but in the meantime, be careful, watch your back, and find enjoyment and pleasure wherever you can. If you have children, little grandchildren, little great-grandchildren, spend as much time as you possibly can with them, however that can be, whether it can be in person or whether it can be virtual, where it's through a webcam, or even if it's just phone calls where you can hear their voice and they can hear yours. Make sure you stay in touch as much as possible. And if you are fortunate enough, like I am, to be able to actually be with them physically as much as you can, please do so. I know I do, and I can just never get enough of these little people that are here, that I helped be here, that I helped bring here through my marriages. I've been married twice, and their side of the family, my side of the family, all those who have gone before either my husbands and I, all of those people, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody is alive, and all of these little people now, my kids and my grandkids, my great-grandchildren, and that in itself, when you stop and think about that, you contribute more than you even realize because of your progeny, what you've managed to carry on, and through them you will carry on as well. And so I think that's a pretty good accolade, maybe, or I don't know what's another word for it, but something that you give, and it's more than you even realize. And so I know I was thinking one day when I was stopping to realize at this time in my life, looking back, what have I contributed? I don't judge anybody's life by how successful they are in a business, how much money they have, how prestigious their home is, or the type of car that they drive, you know, whether their clothing has designer labels on them or not. None of that. That all pales in comparison to what you manage to produce through your bloodline, and your bloodline will carry on through all those who have come from you and all those before you. And so it's nothing to sneeze at, I'll tell you that. It is an accomplishment in ways you don't even realize. And I think a lot of people sometimes feel that they're judged by what they have managed to do, what they have, the money they've made, and all of these things that I mentioned just prior. And no, it's not. And I think it's wrong to look at someone like that thinking, well, that person has done very well for themselves compared to that person that's laying there on the park bench covered up with newspapers to try to stay warm, thinking that this person with all this money has managed to be, it is much better than the person that is unfortunate, that's on the park bench. One is no better than the other. They are both equal, regardless of where their life has brought them. In the eyes of God, they are equal, and He is the one that will judge them. And so enough of that. You know, like when I do these videos, as I have said different times, when I do them, they're not scripted, so therefore I don't know sometimes what to say, or where maybe something I'm talking about will lead to something else, and it will help me, you know, a new topic to talk about. And so as you can see, I have my autumn series here with me, and I have started before the Grandeur. For those of you that are a little out of sync with me, Before the Grandeur is a prequel to the story of the Perils of Autumn that begins with the very first book and then is picked up 4 years later with Returned Autumn, Part 1, and then carries on and concludes through Returned Autumn, Part 2. Through these two books right here, you're covering a couple of years right there. And in the very concluding book is where the tie-ups come in for the story that will take you well into the future. And so, but I decided that I wasn't quite through with Cyril Landon, and I wanted to do a prequel where it tells about Cyril and his life, his early life, and how he came to be a horsemaster, and how one thing leads to the next, and so it will bring you up to the Perils of Autumn. And so so I've started writing it. I haven't gone all that far, and of course very first draft, and you know, I think I've got possibly 3 pages wow, written, and then of course I got sidetracked off on some other things, and summer was coming to an end, and you know, like I try not to do too awful much through the summer months. I don't take events very much from, say, the middle of June through to the beginning of September, and then I don't take anything through the dead of winter because of traveling conditions and that. And so really my time for events or anything that I'm going to do publicly is in the, say, from maybe the middle of March to the middle of June, and then from early September through to maybe the end of November, possibly the very first of December. Depends on the weather, of course. If there's, blizzards setting in and bad driving conditions and stuff like that. But there really hasn't been much going on. I did one public event this year, and that was back in the first Saturday of June down at Ridgeway at Lakeside Books and Arts. I took part in her reading series, her summer reading series, and I was, I think, the third author to read in the series, like to be there for her reading series. And she was featuring one local artist each Saturday throughout the entire summer. And of course, that's now finished. And when I first did my part in it, I didn't realize at that time that it would only be one appearance per author. I didn't know that she had a total lineup of authors that would take her right through the summer. But I'm not surprised, because Niagara, the entire peninsula, is so alive with talented authors, talented musicians, talented artists, talented actors and actresses. And it's just, there's always something going on in the arts in one form or another. But I've been doing most of my work online. Most of my events are online, through book tours and doing interviews and having reviews done for this series. and so, like, that's what you do when you're a self-published author. You have to take so much onto your own shoulders to create events for yourself and create sales for yourself. And so that's what I've been doing. And author Gina Ivory, who I'm going to be having do a video with me as my guest sometime this fall. I don't know yet just exactly when that's going to happen, but I have spoken with her about it, and she is open to doing that. And so we will get together and we will do a video together, and I can introduce you to her and her to all of you, and have her talk about her work. I have read all of Gina's work. She is a fantastically talented author, and her work will sweep you around the world. And such good storylines, great characters, great basis to her stories. Gina herself is very, very well traveled, and so again, she bases a lot of her work on her life experiences, as I do, and so I think you will be pleasantly surprised at the different things that she will talk about when she comes on my channel and guests with me on one of my upcoming videos. So do stay tuned for that. And but she and I were going to do an event tomorrow morning down in Fort Erie, which is right at the border. Buffalo is right across the Niagara River, and but Gina is just back from Florida, and her and her husband have business down there, and they just arrived back home this past week, and they unfortunately had spent a lot of their time while they were down there not feeling well, and so Gina, she's feeling a bit better, but her energy has gotten sucked, and of course I had this bad cold a couple of weeks ago, 2, 3 weeks ago now, and it just sucked my energy as well. I wasn't sick. I just, had a head cold, and I had got right on it and started, self-medicating myself, and with as natural of things as I can. And although I do swear by Buckley's, you can't go wrong. I find their cold and flu medication is very good. At least it works for me. I can't speak on how it may work for just anybody, but for me, it brings me relief, and it takes care of whatever it is that is trying to get a hold of me. And of course, I keep my immune boosted, and I look after myself as best I can. And so because of that, the fact that both of us were not 100% to be able to do that event, we decided to pull out of it, and so we won't be doing it. Excuse me, just a minute, the phone is ringing. Now, I'm back, and we're counting up again. Just had a nice phone call from my neighbor, and talking about a riddle that was making the rounds on Facebook, and he gave his answer to this riddle, which apparently wasn't right, and he was trying to find out whether he was right or he was wrong, whether I had done the riddle. And I said, yeah, my cousin had posted it up, and I decided that I would give it a shot, because usually I don't bother with these things, but I did. And if I can remember, the basis of the riddle was something to do with, there was however many, I think there was horse and a giraffe, and what other animals were in it, that they were all sitting on the bed, on a bed, and the punchline was how many feet were on the floor. And of course, there would be no feet on the floor if they're all sitting on the bed. It didn't say anything about how did they get to the bed or how did they get off the bed. It was that they were already on the bed and how many feet were on the floor. Well, nobody's feet were on the floor because they were all on the bed. And so my neighbor was saying, well, a horse has long legs and a giraffe has long legs, so they would be hanging off on the floor, but didn't say that. So the way he was coming about it, it wasn't right anyway. So we had a bit of a laugh about that. Oh well. In this day and age, with the way the world is right now, whatever you can find to laugh about or to give you amusement, please do so, because give yourself a break from the stress and the depression and just the way everything with what's going on with these governments around the world and everything, and the way the people are being shit on. If you can find something to occupy your mind, sweep you away, at least, just to take you away from everyday life and let you be absorbed, like, into the pages of a book, where there could be drama and things going on in the story, but at least you're out of your world and into a fictional world where you can escape and have some time away from what you face daily. And if it happens to be a comedy, like my Durwood comedy series, based on Durwood Tugbottom, you can have a laugh. And to be able to laugh nowadays is the best medicine anybody could ask to have. And so with that, I'm sorry my video got paused partway through while I took this call. But that's the thing, like when you're doing videos throughout the day and even the nighttime for that matter, but definitely through the business day, you don't know who is going to call and if the phone's going to ring or whatever, and I'm not going to unplug things because I need it to be able to do this. And so I'm going to come to the end of this video, call it quits for today, because I'm just now right past the 30-minute mark. And so I thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in once again to my video, and I hope that you found some entertainment in it today in one way or another. And please do check out my autumn series. It's available on all Amazons in paperback, in hardback, and in Kindle, as well as all my other books are available there as well. And so I hope you will check them out. And you won't be sorry, I promise you that. And so please like this video, please share it around, and please comment it if you would, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart who have joined my channel, who have subscribed, and who continues to subscribe. And a big shout out once again to Usha for all your help with these videos. I appreciate it very, very much. So everybody take care, stand strong, just say no, and you hang in there. And I'll talk to you again relatively soon. Bye-bye for now. Peace out.